that supports mindfulness and its practices for personal and professional engagement. And I want to thank Gilda's Club for inviting me to share a new practice with you. You know, if you thought about exploring mindfulness, now more than ever is the time to consider this. You know, I believe right now mindfulness matters most. And why would we consider taking the time to explore our inner experience? Well, familiarizing and befriending ourselves with who we are truly changes everything. Evolutionary psychology shows us that we are hardwired to survive, but not to thrive. So this practice of mindfulness allows us to overcome that conditioning. Most important, mindfulness allows us to thrive. So today's practice is, how do we manage our emotions? And you know, in my private practice, I see this all the time where people say to me, you know, these emotions get the best of me. You know, our emotions are complicated happenings that are a blend of thoughts and sensations. And in my work and research, I created something called Team Thought, T-E-A-M. Thought, emotion, actions, and meaning. This cycle, and with awareness, when we understand the interconnectedness of our thoughts and our emotions and our actions and meanings, it really can liberate us to be able to manage ourselves more effectively. And what we know is that when we can actually become aware of those connections between our thoughts and our sensations and emotions, we can actually create some space and some separateness and better manage ourselves. So we're not hooked and triggered. So I'm sad, this experience of sadness, with some practice, we can understand that this state comes and goes and it begins to lose its power. Now, how transformative could that be? And over time and with some practice, we can let go of our emotional patterns and feelings that impinge on almost everything. It's not doing away with the good, but it's managing the discomfort. And this practice ultimately allows you to move through our state, through your state, with more grace and ease. You know, from a purely mechanistic perspective, this is what Wikipedia said. Emotions can be defined as a positive or negative experience that is associated with a particular pattern of physiological activity. You know, I think when we understand that it is physiological, well, then, you know, as athletes, we can kind of learn to work with this. You know, psychotherapist Michael Graham describes all emotions existing on a continuum of intensity. So fear might range from mild concern to terror, or shame might range from simple embarrassment to toxic shame. And you know, emotions have been described as consisting of a coordinated set of responses. And that's where the action reaction comes in, thought, emotion, action, which includes a verbal response, a physical response, or a behavioral response. So how important could it be for us to create a healthier relationship with our sensation and emotions? I'm going to say to you, it impacts everything. Yes, this is important. So let's get started. Sit comfortably and relax into this. It is relaxed but engaged. I'm going to encourage you to really follow this practice because it's important. Make any adjustments that are right for you. And let's bring in this beautiful breath, a little deeper into our diaphragm. Noticing the sensations. And maybe soften your gaze. I'd like you to think about a joyful experience. Just think about something that brought you joy. And I'd like you to examine and observe this And this is where we become observers to our own experience. Can you see the event and can you feel it? How does this make you feel? Emotions live in our bodies. Notice your shoulders, your breath. And I'd like you to describe this. Is this pleasant? Does it feel light?
I can hear
Feel
you.
it in your heart.
Hello.
As we note and notice the state, we become observers to our own experience and understand that sensations are connected with emotions, thought, emotion. And as we spend time experiences, we can see what precedes the sensations. When I think about something that's joyful, what sensations show up? Notice as we sit with and observe the sensations, they ebb and they flow and they change. The mind shifts from one thought to another. So by sitting with our experience in a formal way, even a few minutes a day, we can familiarize ourselves with the emotional shifts and changes that occur. If we think about something that was unpleasant, we can also trigger the sensations of anxiousness or fear or sadness and anger, or an emotionally charged event. You know, when I see individuals, we know that trauma lives in our bodies. And with that awareness and some practice, we can begin to heal our wounds. As we investigate our experience as observers and with some curiosity, we soon see that by seeing and feeling and experiencing all of these emotions, we welcome them and can also gently let them go. So rather than resisting or suppressing a thought, we can, with some practice, experience the sensations as they come and go. And softly and easily begin to open to whatever shows up for us. Let's return to breath and relaxing the mind. And this wonderful breath that helps us regulate our nervous system. It's a tool that is always available to you. I'm going to suggest that opening ourselves to working with our emotions allows us to compassionately support our change, allowing whatever arises in us with some kindness and patience. And over time, you can gently let this go. Mindfulness and meditation does create the space and the opportunity for us to acknowledge the nature of these feelings and these thoughts and the emotions. They are transient, and therefore we can watch them come and go. You know, over time, what begins to happen is you can check in with yourself out of a formal practice, mindfully, just in your day-to-day experience. And as you become familiar with naming these emotions, you begin to tame the sensations. Because you know what? Some emotions are just not worth holding on to. I'm going to finish today with a beautiful poem by Derek Walcott. It's called Love After Love. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself, arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself. to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored, for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf and the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. This is Linda Janasz for Mindfulness Matters. Thank you for joining us, and have a present and meaningful and good day.